You are watching
Trinity Episcopal School Production Network. TESPN.
Welcome to the first TESPN podcast of the 2024-2025 school year. So excited to be back. It's been a few months since our last podcast, but we're starting off with what we think is going to be one of the most successful teams that we're going to have here this year, and they always are, which is the Trinity Field Hockey program. We've got a couple 11th graders here, Alaina, Catedral, and Lila Grace Logan. Their third year on the varsity team here and in this program. I'm also joined by senior Hagen Andrew, who is going to be my sidekick here from TESPN, interviewing these young ladies. And Alaina and LG, just want to start by asking you all, you're now almost a month into practice. We're filming this, we're just about done with August here. You had several scrimmages. First real game yesterday, which was a 10-0 victory. So how's the team looking? How are you feeling about things in this early part of the season? AC?
I feel like we're looking really strong so far. It feels really strong on the field and communication throughout.
I think we have a really young team, but I think we're bonding together really well, and we're looking really good.
So what are some individual or team goals that y'all have for this season?
Eventually to get a ring.
Yeah. I think just keeping the intensity up throughout the whole year and keeping the vibe high and not losing that throughout the season.
That's awesome. So both of you in your high school careers have dealt with some setbacks in terms of injuries. Last year I know was a really frustrating field hockey season for you when you just couldn't quite get healthy. I think it was a hamstring, or was it?
Knee.
A knee, my bad. And then, LG, you of course had the ankle break your freshman year that, it was pretty much recovered by field hockey season, but it kind of took away a spring and summer for you. You're both healthy now. I just was going to ask you if we have maybe other high school athletes watching this who have dealt with injuries. What would be your advice to trying to keep a positive attitude and keep your goals in sight even when you aren't physically able to perform, since you guys have both experienced that?
I think just just
in general, what would you tell an athlete, maybe if someone who did suffer an injury,
when they're back from injury or when they're
when they're going through it, just how do you stay positive? I mean, I know I talked to both of you a lot when you weren't able to participate in athletics, and you always at least outwardly had a smile on your face and you're like, I'll be back. Just how did you keep that positive mindset?
I think I kept it by I still continued to play and watch all the time, supporting my team and stuff. So just being there and being around the atmosphere of field hockey definitely helped me, even if I wasn't able to play.
I agree with that, and also just when you're there supporting, it's it's such a high feeling of just being there on the side, and it's you want to get back to that so badly, so pushing hard to get to that point.
Yeah, so with a lot of underclassmen this year, how has it been getting them accustomed to the team and leading them as upperclassmen?
Yeah, we do have such a young team, so especially for us since we're juniors now, and our two big seniors, Lexa and Carson. Just teaching them on the field where to go and what to do, while also having our jobs and yeah.
Yeah, I feel just keeping a bond there of also not being we're upperclassmen so we're above you, but more of guiding them and supporting them through these hard practices and stuff.
And I've had the chance to watch each of you play, and of course, LG, I've seen you play soccer a ton as well. Both of you all, I think one of the first thing that stands out, I'm not a field hockey expert, but you're both very fast. You're probably two of the fastest players on the team, and I think that speed, that electric speed, really jumps out to a spectator. Besides speed, I want to ask each of you, AC, we'll start with you. What would you say are your strengths on the field hockey field?
I'd say like communication. Like I'm good at communicating like throughout the forward line, especially like starting the communication, and also like I feel like I play like a leadership role now that like I'm one of like the upperclassmen like forward positions, like kind of like guiding.
I'd say like my biggest strength is going forward. Like when I get the ball, like going to cage or like finding like a pass to like split defenders and get to our forwards.
And you mentioned there are 2 seniors, which I'd like to also plug. We interviewed there's 5 seniors, but 2 senior leaders that have been on varsity since 9th grade, which are Carson Beatty and Alexa Murphy. And to finish my thought, I'd like to plug the interview that we did with them last week at TESPN Media Days. So if you've found this podcast, you can find our interview with Carson and Murph on the same page. But I actually wanted to ask you about those 2 as leaders, because they both have very unique, fun personalities. And so for you all as sort of, I know you're not captains yet as only juniors, but maybe you might view yourselves as like kind of vice captains or captains in training sort of thing. Can you just talk about your senior leaders and what they bring to the table?
I mean, if you don't go to Trinity, like me, Alexa and Carson are really good friends. And so like going through this process, they've really helped me, like through my college recruitment process, like they've like guided me the way, like how, like guided me to like
How to navigate that.
yeah, and like and then like starting up during preseason and stuff, like they are sometimes unserious, but eventually they do get like very serious and get like it's time to lock in and like help everybody out.
Both of them are really like just keep the like positive attitude up, and especially Carson, like my freshman year, she was always like so like welcoming and like just didn't even care that like you were younger than her or whatever. It's like she won't even know you like the freshman now, but she's so like open to them and just like wants to bring them in.
Hagen, you got any other questions?
I did not.
All right, I did actually just think of another one for you, LG, that just occurred to me. But your sister is here now. She's on the team with you.
Yes.
Have you ever, so Mackie,
Mm-hmm.
your 9th grade sister, have you ever been on a team with her before?
We played soccer for 1 season together.
Okay, hopefully you've got more soccer seasons in
Yeah.
your future together. But yeah, what's that like, having your little sister on the team?
It's definitely like a crazy dynamic. Like yesterday in the game, she was able to get in, and like I just knew where she was gonna go. Like no matter, even if she didn't talk to me or if I didn't tell her what to do, I just knew where she was gonna be. And like throughout the summer, I've been practicing with her a lot just to try and help her like get on the team. So like I just know what she's gonna do, and I know where she's gonna be at all times.
No, that's awesome. And then you mentioned a couple minutes ago about how those seniors, Carson, who's committed to Syracuse, Alexa Murphy committed to ODU, and how they helped you through your recruiting process. So you just committed, I guess, at least officially, publicly, about a week or 2 ago, to Penn State. Great program. Can you tell our viewers what went into that decision? Why Penn State?
Well, really, I was looking for like a bigger school, and it kind of just came down to like distance was my final option. But like just like a competitive program, I want to play for a championship, like whether that be like in the Big Ten or in the NCAA.
And Alaina, college hockey, maybe for you, not sure yet?
I'm not sure yet.
Well, I think with your speed, you know, if you have a really healthy season, and if that's something you want to pursue, I have no doubt that you would be able to play at the next level as well. All right, let's finish off a little lightning round. Just a few quick questions, quick answers. I don't even know what I'm going to ask yet. Just first thing that pops to my head. What would you say has been your favorite class at Trinity so far? We'll start with AC.
Probably like my crime and science class.
I'm gonna go math class last year. I had some good people in it.
And what's your pregame meal or snack?
Some Cheez-Its.
Like crackers. Or fruit. Oh, bananas.
Okay.
Boy, those cramps, yeah.
Yes.
Those leg cramps can get you, especially when it's hot out. How about what do you listen to? What do you listen to before the game starts? Hype music gets you in the right mindset.
My hype song's definitely Low Down.
Anything about like Megan Thee Stallion, like that kind of stuff.
We like to listen to Sexy Red.
Yeah,
in the
that's
locker
a
room.
big one.
I don't know that one, but and it's probably better that way. Who's your funniest teammate?
Carson.
Yeah, I would say Carson too.
Or like Reese.
Yeah.
Who is the teammate that inspires you the most? Could be a former teammate too, maybe someone that graduated.
I would say either Shepard or Carson, just because they've been like my big sisters, really.
I'd say like them two, but also like Ava. Like she didn't go and play in college, but like I still like really look up to her.
A couple more. Who is a? Do you drive yet?
I do not.
Okay.
Well, I have my permit.
Okay. Alaina, let me ask you: who do you think's a better driver, you or Huey?
Definitely me. I don't hit cars.
And last one. Finish this sentence. In 10 years, I will be.
Like with our profession.
Where you're living, profession, family.
I'm gonna be rich.
I'm gonna have traveled the world.
That sounds good. I mean, traveling the world sounds amazing to me, which means you'll be rich too, apparently, because I think you kind of have to be to travel the world. Well, thanks for joining us, guys. Hagen and I are going to stick around and talk a little bit about just the fall season in general here for Trinity Sports. But Lila Grace Logan, Alaina Catedral, wishing y'all all the best for what should be a great junior field hockey season. And thanks so much for joining us for our first podcast of this new year. All right, thanks for sticking with us. Hagen and I are here to give hopefully a bit of a preview or overview of this fall sports season. It's just getting started. I think our first official contest as we film this just happened yesterday. So, Hagen, you're someone who has a great insight into Trinity athletics. You, in your high school career here, participated in cross country and soccer, and now, as you can see, got the football uniform on.
Yep.
Your sister's on the tennis team. So, you have kind of a real good overview of Trinity sports. So let's just talk through them. I mean, maybe we'll start with football since you are a recent addition to football. I know you've just started in the past few days, but how do you think football is going to go?
I think we're going to have a really good year this year. Looking at the schedule, we don't have too many games, not a lot of home games either, but I think that we have a really good start of the year with who we're scheduled to play against. So I think we're going to be good.
And then soccer, you've been part of that program the last couple of years. You got a ton of friends on the team. I know you even were with the group until recently. I saw you out there at the summer pickup and things like that. What do you think soccer's looking like this fall for the boys?
I think soccer can be really good, not even just this fall, but in the future, 4 years. We have a lot of young players, and I think that team is going to be really good.
And a lot of seniors on that team, a lot of your friends. Who are some guys you're looking for and see as real leaders on that soccer team?
Matthias Rusi, he's really good. He's a great leader. He's been a leader for a while. Gino Galvez is the new starter, and I think he is going to have a really big role in the team. They're also facing a lot of injuries, but that team really just has a lot of leaders. I could list a lot. Tucker Tedderton.
Yeah. Great group of seniors, and just need some of those guys to get healthy so they can reach their peak for sure. And then cross country, obviously that's a sport that has a boys side and a girls side, but I think you ran cross country your freshman year and probably still have some good connections with that group. What are you hearing about how cross country is going so far?
I've heard cross country is going to be pretty good. We have two really good runners, Spencer and Matthew Wadelick, I think his last name.
Mm-hmm.
They're both Matthew's really good. I've run winter track with him a lot over the past years. He's really gotten better. He's a hard worker. I don't know too much about the girls' end. I think we had a really good runner last year. Who was the 8th grader?
Caitlin Harris, yeah.
I think she was really good. She won a lot of meets last year. So I think they're going to be really good.
And then turning to some of the other girls' sports, we'll start with tennis. Like you mentioned, your sister's on the team.
She is.
Have you talked to her about how that's going? I know that's another program, like cross country and volleyball. Several new coaches, and girls' tennis is one as well. What are you hearing about that side of things?
Yeah, I heard there's a good new coach there, and we have a lot of returners for that team. A lot of upperclassmen, which is kind of different to years past. I'm pretty sure. I think last year there weren't that many. I think there were only 2 or 1.
Yeah, and I think 2 years ago there was only 1 senior, if I remember correctly. So
Yeah.
probably the most experienced group they've had in a while, with several seniors and a bunch of juniors.
Yeah, but they have the returning LIS state champion.
Yeah, Susanna
Whitehead. Yeah. So I think they can be really good.
And then there's volleyball, another, like I said, program with a new coach. A lot of senior leadership on that squad. Who are some of the people you're looking for to carry volleyball this fall?
So yeah, volleyball. Most of the starters now have played together, and they have started like all 4 years at Trinity. So I think they definitely have the not connection, but like
Chemistry.
Yeah,
and experience.
Experience. I think Rosalie Tadikin. I think she's really good. Dakota Baldwin. Sarah, a lot of good players. I'm trying to think. There's one
Campbell
more.
Cash
Campbell
is the
Cash.
other. Yeah, I mean you're right. 4 girls who've been starting since the 9th grade, and we actually talked to all 4 of them at Media Day last week, and really enjoyed interviewing them. And that's a sport that I'm really looking forward to TESPN covering this year with such a senior-laden group. I think they can really improve on how last year, which as I recall got off to a good start, but second half of the season wasn't as good, but that's one of the things they talked about. They said they're in better shape this year, better condition, and they're looking to make a deeper run and finish up the year strong. And then finally, the last fall sport we haven't talked about, or you and I haven't yet, but we did just talk about with Alaina and Lila Grace, is field hockey. You told me off camera right before this, that's probably the sport you maybe know the least about, but maybe I'll just mention that they've got a bunch of players that are part of like the junior Olympic program. I think Lila Grace is one. Also, Julia Reeser, who's an incoming 9th grader. I mean, the goalie position for that team, Alexa Murphy's a Division I commit, Avery Johnson's a Division I commit, and they've got 3 probable college goalies. We've heard a lot about Carson Beatty, who's been all LIS for a couple of years. Lila Grace, who just committed to Penn State. I mean, just a lot of talent on that team. Anna Reeser, who's been starting since 9th grade.
Good coaching staff.
An unbelievable coaching staff that has incredible continuity, and that whole staff really has been together for years with, of course, Coach Margie Sneed running the show. So they've gotten off to a great start. I mean, I think they had 3 scrimmages and won all of them, and then opened up with a 10-0 win in the first regular season game. So that's definitely a team to watch for sure.
Yeah.
Well, just for you now as a senior who loves sports and who's played a lot of sports, I guess maybe take us out on just what are you most excited about in this fall 2024 sports season?
Just winning. I want all the teams to have the best. All the teams are probably going to make the state tournament, and I just want everyone to win states. I mean, that's like really broad and stuff, but I think that is realistic.
I don't know if all 7 teams winning states is realistic, but
making the tournament, I feel like.
Oh, that yeah.
As a Trinity fan, I think no bias, but I think we definitely can do that.
Well, I think the last sentence you said really resonates with me as a Trinity fan. I mean, presumably, if you're watching this, you're a Trinity fan. Here at TESPN, we are busting with excitement for a new athletic season, and it's a new page in a lot of ways. New athletic director. 3 of our 6 programs have new fall coaches. Even just our facilities have been upgraded. I mean, everything is really ready to roll for this new season. TESPN is going to guide you every step of the way with our weekly podcast, our Titan Takeover, and as many live broadcasts as we can possibly bring you. Hagen, thanks so much for joining the podcast today, and thank you all for watching so much. I'm Rick Hamlin. We'll see you next time.